1280, The Patriot.
WWTC, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
With SRN News, I'm Michael Harrington in Washington. Funeral plans are now set for boxing legend Muhammad Ali.
After a private service on Thursday, his family will honor Ali just like he planned, with a procession Friday down an avenue in Louisville that bears his name, then on to the KFC Yum Center for a public ceremony. Eulogists will include former President Bill Clinton, comedian Billy Crystal, and sports television host Brian Gumbel. The ceremony will be led by an imam of the Muslim tradition, but will include representatives of other faiths. Ali died in Arizona Friday night of septic shock 3 decades after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich says Donald Trump's criticism of a federal judge hearing a lawsuit against Trump University is one of the candidate's, quote, worst mistakes and is inexcusable. Gingrich appearing today on Fox News Sunday. This is SRN News.
AM 1280, The Patriot, throws up our caps alongside the graduating class of 2016. We know you've worked hard to get where you are today, and we're excited for your next step. Maybe you'll be a great doctor, a future Minnesota senator, a teacher, or the next great voice in radio. Either way, we here at AM 1280, The Patriot, wish you all the best on your future endeavors. Congratulations, graduates.
Be sure to join AM 1280 The Patriot for a once-in-a-lifetime tour following the footsteps of the apostles John and Paul. It'll be departing next September 22nd, and it's a 15-day cruise through the Mediterranean, including shore stops in Rome, Athens, and Corinth, and more. See the full itinerary and details at AM 1280 The Patriot. Now here's your Blue Ox Heating and Air Weather Center update. Today, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 81. Tonight, we're going all the way down to 57.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
Hi, I'm Randy with RB's Computer Service. For all you business owners listening right now, who is managing your network of computers and servers? I hope you have someone qualified to monitor the hundreds of events that are reported daily by the operating system. If this is not carefully sifted through, you could potentially have the system crash or be accessed via the internet along with all of your data destroyed or stolen. Why not have us manage this for you and eliminate those concerns? We are doing this already for a number of other business owners, and that lets them concentrate on their business rather than the maintenance of the computers and servers. We do it all, and quite reasonably too. And we manage your backups also. You are doing that, right? Why don't you just call me today at 763-441-3884 so you can put this to rest. One more thing. If you have a broken screen on a tablet or cell phone, we fix those also. We are the experts in the IT field, and we would love to earn your business. One more time, here's the number, 763-441-3884, or on the web at rbsmn.com.
Giving your computer problems the boot. RB's Computer Service.
Pro-life across America, the Billboard people.
Elijah, how did you break your arm?
I fell off the monkey bars.
Ooh, ouch. Did it hurt?
Yeah, but I'm a big boy, so I didn't hardly cry.
Did you know that babies can feel pain before they're even born?
They can?
That's right. Babies can smile, suck their thumbs, and even feel pain before they're born. That's why we want to take good care of mommies and babies.
Hello, my name is Marianne Koharski. I'm the director of Pro-Life Across America, the Billboard people. If you know someone who is pregnant and in need of confidential counseling or information, please call Pro-Life Across America at 1-800-366-7773 or visit our website at prolifeacrossamerica.org. Pro-Life Across America is totally educational, non-political, and tax deductible.
Pro-life across America, the Billboard people.
Hey, you know, there's never anything new in the hot tub world. That is until now.
What is it, you hoser? They got different colored bubbles now?
Seriously? No. It's called Spa Boy from Arctic Spas. It probes and tests the water and generates the chlorine, so your hot tub is always clean, even with you in it.
Take off, eh? You mean Spa Boy makes the chlorine so I don't have to do all the work?
Yes, exactly. And they're the only one in the world, even up at the cabin. And I can check it from back home, too. I save money by turning it up when we're on the way.
Oh, you mean they got an app for that, eh?
Yeah, Arctic Spa's an all-weather pool or a cold-weather spa built in Canada, eh? For Minnesota's cold winters. You can swim all year long in your backyard and hardly pay anything to run it.
Hey, take off, eh? Visit them at Premier Pool and Spa in Chanhassen or online at premierpools.com.
Premier Pool and Spa, where we take fun seriously, eh?
Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group at Coldwell Banker Burnett. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome to the program. I'm Keith Hittner, Sr., together with Fritz Taylor, sitting in for Keith Hittner, Jr., who's out and about today. Kelvin Kaemingk is with us, and we're broadcasting live from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studios here in the Twin Cities. RealEstateChalkTalk.com has the tools and vendor contact information to help you fix up your home and get it ready for sale. 612-627-8000 is the number to call. We can't help you if you don't call, so call the number today, 612-627-8000. Say, summer picnic season is here, and everybody is busy with outdoor activities, mowing the lawn and such. Why not get your Rack Shack Barbecue delivered? Just go to the website, rackshackbarbecue.com, and you'll see the delivery link at the top of the page. Click on the link, and then click on the location that's closest to you, and just go ahead and order away, and pretty soon you got some nice ribs showing up at the door. Or if you're in a hurry coming home from work and you haven't got time to do some cooking, just go on the website and go on the pickup link, and you can order your food, pay for it, and then there's no waiting in line when you get to the store. The guys will have it all ready for you. Rack Shack Barbecue is America's food, and it is the right thing to do. Hi, guys.
How are you?
We're going to do, we got a good show today.
We do.
Yeah, really a packed show today. Our focus today is on this old house. So we're going to be talking about older homes around the Twin Cities. What is an older home, and then what makes them unique and special and fun in some cases, and then not so fun in the others.
Depending on what you get, right?
Depending on what you get. And so we got Jessica is here with GCS Title, so she's going to help us out on that end. Have a little chat with her. And we got Shelly here from Home Warriors America. We love that because we do, especially when you got an old house, a lot of times it's smart to put a warranty on that baby.
Be interesting to know if there's anything there with older homes for Shelly as well.
Say that again.
If there's a difference in the warranty, if it's a really old home, or if there's any caveats there. So we'll ask her about that.
It kind of goes right with the theme of this old house, doesn't it, Kelvin?
It does.
Good thinking.
Thanks, boy.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have, in the second hour, we've got a guy on the show, Tim Mahoney, and it's Thinking Man Films. I have no idea. Did you look at that website, Kelvin?
Did not.
It did not.
Yep.
Okay, I did, and
you did.
I did. It's pretty interesting. So you may want to take a look at that while we're here before he gets in the studio, so that we
have something to talk about.
Yeah, a little something anyhow going through. But it's going to be interesting. He's written a book on the Exodus and done some work on that. It's not like it's like no one else has done it, but he's got a 400-page dissertation on it. So I think it might be pretty interesting conversation about that.
We went through all 400.
I just noticed that there was 400. Okay. I guess I didn't.
He's gonna read it.
No. So quizzes. Fritz is in the studio. Fritz.
Morning.
Are you going to contribute today?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
It's hard to get a word in edgewise with this group, but I'm going to try. I'll raise my hand a lot.
Kelvin, your boy Donald Trump is making it. He's rocking it, isn't he?
My boy. He's not my boy. He's your boy from the beginning. But he's doing a nice job.
He's doing a really nice job. He was...
went after the media this week pretty well.
I loved it. And so did everybody else except, of course, the media. They're all mortified. And I love listening to the talking heads on the news programs, and they're all like, they can't believe it that anyone would talk to him like this and that and the other thing. And
just he said, and he'll just comment, oh, yeah, I know who you are. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's really good. So that would be, and then Is your presidency going to be like this? He kind of put him on notice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell the truth, tell the whole story. No, like funny editing, like was it Christy? What's her name? Did the other day on she's doing an interview with a gun lobbyist, and they edited in a longer silence pause to make it look like the people didn't know what they were talking about.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, someone else was taping the conversation, and
yeah, there's way too much. You can't do that anymore.
Can't do that stuff anymore. So got away with it for years. And what else?
We're going to talk about, on our side, in the fourth segment, we're going to be talking about the job shocker that came out, the jobs report that came out on Friday.
No.
So that was a huge miss on what everybody anticipated. We'll talk about the unemployment rate, the trade deficit, labor participation rate, and then we had Barry Habib, who is probably the forerunner of kind of understanding the markets in our industry. He was at the Strategic Investment Conference, and just share some of the thoughts that they walked away from that conference with, which was pretty interesting. So we'll kind of see what happens with that conversation, the fourth segment.
So we have in our market that's going on right now, other things I want to talk about, and that is the shortage of the inventory, how it's impacting sales, how it's impacting consumers, and I guess I could almost chat about it a little bit right now, because we've had a number of conversations with people this week, not just this week, but this whole month, and they're talking about the home that they wanted to buy, things that we were talking in January that they were going to buy, right? And in January they could afford it, and now suddenly in May and June, those properties aren't available. So they think they're going to buy their forever home, not the forever home, but the home that they're going to stay in until like the kids get out of high school.
Right.
And it was a doable goal last fall, maybe in January. Now all of a sudden that house is either it isn't there, or it's priced to the point where they can no longer afford it. So the conversation has moved to, now you're really looking at a two-step process. Maybe you're going to be there, maybe you're going to buy another home and be there until the kids are out of grade school or get into middle school, and then move to that home that's going to carry you through high school, because it isn't going to be a one-step deal.
Well, one of the things that came up in that strategic investment conference, they said that a lot of people are settling for the next home. Instead of purchasing the home they want, they settle for what's available because inventory's low because of that, but yet there's good appreciation. So they say, okay, if there's good appreciation, they can be in that home for a period of time, have a good appreciation, sell it, and then get into the home they want. And do you see that? Do you think people settle because there's such a lack of inventory?
Well, I do. Fritz, what do you think?
Yeah, it depends on their situation. I've got several buyers and sellers that are on both sides of the transaction. For several of them, the first thing I always do is assess whether or not their expectations of the purchase of the house are realistic. And maybe that entails jumping in the car and going out and making sure that, hey, the house that you're looking for exists, A, and B is in your price range, and then we'll list your house. But yeah, it's a concern.
Here's what I see is I see that people who have maybe been thinking about making a move for some time, a year or two, or how people go, they start thinking about it, and it's probably 2 years later when they actually pull the trigger. So what their reality is based on then is what was going on when they started thinking about it, because everything that they looked at that point was doable. And now they kind of move forward. They've been saving money or cleaning up their credit or whatever the situation is. Now they're all of a sudden actually going to come into the market, and they still have that expectation of a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, and it's gone.
Yeah, the market's moved away from them.
Do you think people are hesitant to purchase because they can't find or hesitant to put their home on the market because they won't find what they want?
That's an interesting point, because that's another thing that we've seen more than not this year is people are worried that they're going to put their house on the market, it's going to sell immediately, and then they won't have a place to go. What we've done recently is we've been able to negotiate a couple of things. One of them are just extended closing periods, so that we're pushing the closing date out as far as we can.
So it gives you time to sell their property?
No, we're selling their property because we want to be able to go in non-contingent.
Right.
Right. Subject only to the successful closing of that sale. And we can have that sale of their existing house all wrapped up, tight inspections done and all, be done with that. Now we can go out and buy a house, and unless the buyer of their old house gets hit by a bus or something, it's going to close. I mean, we're pretty confident in that. So now they can go in strong on a negotiation and buying the new house, and we've pushed the closing date out to the point where we've got time to do that.
Right, but we've done it the other way as well. We've done it the other way where you have found. I can think of clients we have right now. They found their new home.
Right.
They didn't even put their home on the market till they found their new home. They bought it.
Right.
We pushed the closing date out 60 days. Now you're putting that one on the market.
And hoping to time it.
Yeah.
Yep, I just did that on one of mine.
But you got to have the financial strength to be able to do that.
Yep.
I mean, that's the only caveat to that. The other thing is rent backs, and we've done that as well, where we've got the buyer of the original home, the old home. They want to lock in, because it's great interest rates. They want to lock their mortgage and they want to close. And we want to close that thing and get the money on the table, but we don't want to move yet. So we'll do a rent back for a month or so, and we've done that successfully as well. Running out of time already for this segment. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where we study the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. 612-627-8000 is the number to call. We can't help you if you don't call. Or go to realestatechalktalk.com. You can see all of our vendor partners on there and visit with them. Get your house ready to sell. We'll see you right after the break.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Ooh, 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 yeah.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
Coldwell Banker Burnett serves home buyers and sellers in Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Our professional sales associates provide a full-service, one-stop shopping real estate experience. And we've got the latest technology to market your home or assist with your home search. Visit cbburnett.com online or on your web-enabled cell phone. Coldwell Banker apps are also available for your iPhone, iPad, or Android device. Wherever you go, we've got the home search tools you need. Go to cbburnett.com.
Today's stringent lending guidelines are challenging enough, so when you're finally ready to close, call Burnett Title to get the job done right. Since 1981, Burnett Title has been an industry leader providing title insurance and closing services for residential, new construction, and commercial transactions. With 19 closing locations, Burnett Title can expedite your closing, whether it's in the Twin Cities, Rochester, St. Cloud, or western Wisconsin. For information, call 952-844-6200 or go to burnetttitle.com. 952-844-6200.
Do you understand what the boss is saying? No, not at all. It's all muffled. Sounds like the mic isn't working or something. Yeah, I know. All I hear is wah, wah, wah. And I figure it's important because this meeting has been planned for weeks. I can't even see what's on the projector. What is he pointing at? I don't know. It's really grainy. It's like my first TV from college. Yeah, well, only another 30 minutes until we can escape for lunch. I got some paper. Want to play tic-tac-toe or something? Yeah, X, center square.
Hi, I'm Mark, president of WNAV Audiovisual. WNAV assists with over 400 Twin Cities events annually with top-of-the-line technology for corporate meetings since 1983. At WNAV Audiovisual, we know how important your meetings are, which is why you can put it in the hands of our top technicians. Whether it's an installation project or an employee meeting, don't let technology components ruin what should be a productive, engaging gathering. WNAV Audiovisual, where your meeting is our business. Online at wnav-video.com.
Congratulations, you finally found your dream home. They've accepted your offer. And now, you need a closing company that can bring it all home. What you need is Global Closing and Title Services. Global Closing and Title is licensed for residential and commercial transactions here in Minnesota and Wisconsin and can close anytime, anywhere at your convenience.
Call Global Closing and Title at 952-895-8400. That's 952-895-8400. Or go to gcstitle.com.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm the football your buddy fired through your windshield. The cooler that tumbled out of a pickup and onto the hood of your car. If you're a football fan, eventually we're gonna meet. So get Allstate. Our agents help keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Are you in good hands?
Start protecting yourself from mayhem today. Call Allstate Agent Brady at 952-905-2735. Coverage subject to terms, qualifications, and availability. Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
And now, we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge. Your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, welcome back to the program. If you're just tuning in, this is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio. I'm Keith Hittner Sr. in the studio with Fritz Taylor and Kelvin Kaemingk. 612-627-8000 is the number to call if you need some help. Kelvin Kaemingk is here, of course, to bring us an update on the market. You can reach him directly at 651-231-2500. We're going to talk about old houses this week, just as a theme to the program, because our metropolitan area, of course, is made up of a lot of aging real estate. We've got Jessica here from GCS Title. She's going to help us out a little bit with some of the title issues on that. But I think before we get into the old house conversation, though, I do want to just touch base with Jessica a minute, because you guys just moved into some new office space.
We did. We're just a building over from where we were before, which is really
Mike.
nice. It's actually the building that GCS started in when GCS started its company, and then we had moved, and now we're back there. So it feels like home.
It's more space, though, right?
Yep.
Than you had. So you are in the top floor of, are they going to rename the building?
Hopefully after me.
Yeah, but
if not, GCS maybe.
No. No, the new space has 2 conference rooms, and it's just nice when we have dual closings going on to be able to accommodate everybody.
The space is laid out really nicely. I was there this past week for closings, and it looks beautiful. It's great space.
We have a little bit of construction left, but it'll be really nice when it's finished.
So that's going to be your main office then, your headquarter location. That's where all of your production is done and those types of things. How many locations you guys have now? Because it seems like we never have a problem, no matter where our closing is in the Twin Cities, of having a GCS office nearby.
We have Woodbury, Prior Lake, Maple Grove, Minneapolis, and then our corporate office in Eagan.
Good. So when we're talking about old houses and title histories that go back, 100 years, is there any difference in how you would approach that as a title company, as opposed to a new construction project that's going on in Lane?
The way that we do our title search, title examination, regardless of the age of the home, is exactly the same. When you're dealing with an older home that's been around for so long and has exchanged hands, the odds of having something come up, an encumbrance on title or an easement or something that we didn't know about, is a little bit more.
How do you deal with that? I mean, when you have like boundary issues, and it's been homes have been around, neighborhoods have been around. Pretty soon you got a neighbor who's got his vegetable garden planted half on his lot and half on the other lot, and with a nice fence around it.
Well, the 2 ways to deal with it is to either have the neighbor or the seller that's selling the property give the neighbor that part of the lot and say, okay, that this is yours, or they have to move it. But then the buyers have to agree to that as well.
So at some point it gets to be kind of a sticky wicky. I mean, I bring that up in particular because a few years ago we actually had a deal that just failed to close because of that, because they could not come to terms over that, and it was literally a vegetable garden planted behind a garage that was half on the neighbor's yard and half on the owner's yard.
Plant some grass, be done with it.
And it was the neighbor's vegetable garden. But
an issue that we just had recently, one of the benefits to title is that the GCS title insures the property up until the day of closing. Title, an owner's policy is purchased to protect you for anything that comes up after the fact. We just had an issue where buyers had purchased a large parcel of land. They had a big shed garage in the back with a dirt road that went there. A couple months after the loan closed, the next door neighbors decided to put a fence up in front of their entire house and block their own access. And then they decided to use the dirt path on the new buyer's house to get to the back side of their house.
Oh, no.
And they're saying that they have an easement. I'm like, well, we don't show an easement. We went back 30 years and we don't show one. So the owner's policy now is going to protect them. The neighbors are stating that the old owners, the sellers, always let them do it. So technically they have rights to it. So then
just because they let them do it doesn't mean it's legally.
No. I mean, there's certain easements that over time you're grandfathered in, but there's no way to prove it.
Right. That's the problem with it. Most easements that you're going to grant right now are going to be recorded so that they're an attachment to the land or to the deed. So what happens in a situation like that?
So the owner's policy that the buyers had purchased now, if they end up going to court, that is what they'll use to protect themselves.
So explain the owner's policy. You said that.
Right, yeah.
Explain that. So the title insurance from GCS protects the buyer up until closing?
So we have the lender's insurance policy, and that's to ensure that the property is free of any liens, encumbrances up until the date of closing.
Okay.
Anything that may arise after that, an owner's policy can be purchased. It's an optional purchase. Most real estate agents and mortgage brokers will tell their clients purchase that because you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, I mean, I've been closing loans for over 10 years now. It's so often that people end up using that because of the same thing. You know, the neighbors want to build a shed and they build it half on their land. You're like, well, it's not yours. But yes, the owner's policy is what they use, that policy to protect their property and their ownership in it.
Well, what does the lender policy, does that end at closing too?
No, the lender's policy is purchased to insure the property up until the day of closing and for mortgages to save.
So then does the lender's policy protects that protects the lender beyond?
Yep.
Okay, so
protects the lender beyond.
Yep.
Okay, so their policy is good for as long as the loan is.
Yep.
Is that what it is, Kelvin? So as long as the loan is good on it. So where are your new offices located then?
Maple Grove, Minneapolis.
Your new office.
The new office is 1915 Plaza Drive.
1915 Plaza Drive.
Yep, we were 1895 Plaza Drive before, and we literally moved. We can see the old
Galaxy
building.
and Cliff.
Yes.
Pretty much, right? In Egan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about old houses, and I like the old houses. I mean, I really do. Depending on what year it is. I mean, you've got homes that are built, you know, like 1900, 1914, something like that. Some of those can be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You still got some stone foundations. Does any of that stuff affect the mortgage or title if you've got homes with stone foundations? Or
it doesn't for us.
It doesn't for you?
No.
Title, nothing?
No.
I would think the only thing that would come up is maybe in an inspection, Keith, or...
Well, I mean, we know that's a stone foundation because you knew that when you made the offer on it. You walked in the basement, there's a stone foundation, and it's been standing for 200 years. There's no reason to believe that it's going to fall down anytime
Have you
soon.
had some of those recently?
Oh, yeah, many. Yeah, many. A lot of them you'll find a lot of houses like in St. Paul, in the lower town in St. Paul, and some of the area, a lot of homes have stone foundations over there. Yeah.
And then this is a dumb question, but is it just stone when you're in the basement? Is it you just see stone, or do they do they cover it or?
Sometimes they've covered it up because they want to make it look better.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason. I mean, it's stacked stone.
Really?
Yeah.
And you think you'd be able to insulate that and then put like walls up or something like that?
You can, but here again, in some of those older houses, and Fritz, correct me if I'm wrong, but in some of those older houses, you know, they weren't built. The basement wasn't built to be habitated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a hole in the ground where they put the furnace, and maybe had some storage.
Yep.
And that's about all there is.
So you don't see nice finished basements?
Some.
Yeah, low
but
headroom.
Those early ones that, like Senior's saying, I was just in one in Northeast, right across the street from Maslax. That boy, Kelvin, you'd have a hard time getting into the basement, and that's exactly what it was. That's where the utilities are, and there's maybe some storage down there. That's it.
The floor cemented?
Sometimes not. Yeah. Sometimes most of the time it is now by now because it's been so many years. But I've been in some with dirt floors.
Yep, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah, because there's no reason. Nobody goes down there. You know, that's that spooky place down there.
No kidding.
No kids when they're naughty.
There's stuff down there.
There's stuff down there, spiders and stuff. Weird. But then you get into the post World War I homes. You know, so they're after, what would that be, after say 19, you know, between 14 and 1919, something like that. And you get into the 20s, the roaring 20s, you know, the pre-depression homes, those properties. Those are some really nice houses. Yep. I mean, they are architecturally interesting. They've got great wood detail, good floor plans, spacious. You'll find a lot of those homes built around the lakes and nicer areas, parks, and those kinds of things, because those were your affluent people who were really doing well after the war.
And do you find a lot of those homes are still standing, or are those the classic tear downs and rebuilds?
No.
No.
People buy in that area for this reason.
For that.
Yeah, I've got one coming online here in the next 15 days at 57th and Wentworth. And it's got everything that everyone is looking for. If you're looking in this specific area, it's got the hardwood, it's got all the architectural character and the built-ins and the fireplace and everything else. If you're looking in this area, this is exactly what you're looking for. There's no way you're tearing it down. Maybe adding on, but not tearing it down.
What year was it built?
27.
Wow.
So it's right when Senior was talking about. And they build houses back there then to last. I mean, those things are.
Do you find
solid
the construction is almost better then than it is today, or just different?
Well, I think I wouldn't say better, because you've got 2x4 construction. Although it's a real 2x4, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not 3.5 by 2 3/8 or whatever it is. So they're dimensional cut lumber. Stores and or boards and all that stuff. We'll pick it up on the other side. You're listening to your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll be back right after the break.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Yeah.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
The highly trained plumbing technicians of H2C Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing can do it all. 50 years of experience helping local homes and businesses with their plumbing needs and issues with water heaters, bathrooms, leaky faucets, and pipe repair. Providing free estimates and bringing back fair pricing to the Twin Cities, and providing 24/7 emergency service. H2C Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit myh2c.com.
When we made an offer on our dream home, it was contingent on a home inspection by Inspecta Homes. It was money well spent.
Since 1981, Inspecta Homes has helped buyers evaluate homes. They inspect everything from the grade and drainage to steps, decks, porches, and roof. Inside, they evaluate the windows, doors, and the mechanical systems, so you know you're making a wise choice. So be smart. Call Inspecta Homes for your home inspection, 651-641-0641, or go to inspectahomes.com.
This is Albert Mohler for Townhall.com. President Obama has long been understood by his biography and by his approach to foreign policy to oppose the lingering aspects of empire and of imperialism. How do we then explain how the president acts as if America is an imperial power ordering the world to follow our imperial edicts when it comes to the sexual and moral revolutions? For example, the people of the Dominican Republic have complained about the fact that the president sent an openly gay ambassador with his husband to that predominantly Catholic nation. We see a similar dynamic in Asia revealed in a recent headline from the New York Times. Quote, U.S. diplomat same-sex marriage causes stir in China. End quote. All of this we need to note is of a piece. It's all consistent with how the Obama administration has declared the fact that it will make LGBT issues a centerpiece of American foreign policy. This means that the United States is using its considerable power in order to further the LGBT revolution all over the world. So much for the end of imperialism. I'm Albert Mohler.
Overwhelmed by your next move? Then take action and call Action Moving, your local Atlas Van Lines agent. With 27 years experience, Action Moving provides quality, reliable moves guaranteed. Get free estimates and competitive rates on local and interstate moves at 1-800-328-3803 or go to actionmoving.com. That's 1-800-328-3803 and mention you heard it on Hittner Real Estate's Chalk Talk Radio. Member of the Better Business Bureau.
Wow. TPM Flooring's private showroom is amazing.
Wow.
I've never seen a better selection of flooring.
Wow.
TPM Flooring gave me an on-the-spot estimate for my hardwood flooring.
Wow.
Their installers did a fantastic job. They vacuumed their way out the door.
Wow.
Put the wow into your next project with TPM Flooring of Burnsville. They supply and install carpet, vinyl, hardwood, and ceramic tile for your home or business.
Wow.
TPM Flooring. Online at tpmflooring.com.
And now, we return to the purveyors of real estate knowledge. Your Real Estate Chalk Talk.
Hey, welcome back. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk, and we are broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studio. Say, if you're planning a lunch meeting or a company picnic, get their attention with some really great food by calling the Rack Shack Barbecue Corporate Catering Hotline. Call them today, 612-326-0430. Get your meeting meal ordered and feed your staff mouth-watering smoked meats, signature sides and sauces, all at a very low cost per serving. Good for the bottom line and good for the crew, and it's so easy. Just call Elliot, 612-326-0430. and he can take care of all the details for you. Keep you well within your budget. Remember, Rack Shack Barbecue is America's food, and it is the right thing to do. And we've been chatting about old houses and the differences in some of the old houses that you find in the center city and first-tier suburbs and then out in the exurbs and the newer homes that are being built today, and a little bit differences about them, characteristics and whatnot. Shelly Johnson's in the studio with Home Warranties of America. We got some questions to ask her about these old houses and how they are to insure and what kind of problems that they have and how it differs with some of the new houses. But when we went out to break, Kelvin, we were talking about the 2x4. Some of the you asked the question is, are they
around construction?
Are they built better? And in some ways they are built better. I'll give you an example. We recently helped a buyer buy a house on Aldrich Avenue in right over by Lake Calhoun or Harriet, over by Lake Harriet. And this house was built, I forget what year it was built. It was like around that area, 1920, maybe 19. It might even have been in the teens. But it was built, it's a one-of-a-kind property, craftsman-style home. Gorgeous home off the lakes. The original owner was very successful, obviously a wealthy owner. You could not build that house today. I mean, I just don't think you could. I don't think anyone would know how to build the house today.
Well, and how about the cost associated with like the millwork and all of that? I mean, it's crazy.
Well, I mean, the steps are pegged. They slide the board through the rim of the step, and then it's pegged. And you can actually knock the pegs out, and take the boards out to refinish them, and those kinds of things. I mean, there's nobody that would even know how to do it. Is the main thing. It's a great, floor plans. The things that we notice about some of these older homes that is different from the homes that we're building today is that they tend to be, I don't want to say boxy, but they have a lot of rooms and a lot of doors.
Yep.
And
a lot of
little choppy.
Yeah, so they seem to be a little bit closed off, and the millwork is glorious. I mean,
beautiful. Like in the one you're talking about, the woodwork is so cool.
It's
and
stunning.
It's so big. I mean, it's tall and.
Yeah, it's amazing the work. So that's a little bit difference in how the lifestyles have changed a little bit. Lots of formal dining rooms, formal spaces like that, powder room up front, where people would be greeted when they came to the house, and then they'd be invited into the inner house. And that's where you really get to sit down then in the parlor or in the living room area and those kinds of things. So they're fun from a nostalgic standpoint, but the kitchens tended to be small because kitchens were meant to cook food, not to be a gathering place like they are today. In many cases, there was staff. So the owner of the house didn't really, in some of these homes that I'm referring to, and this one in particular, they didn't cook. They had a cook. So the kitchen was just very functional and you grew up in that area,
yeah,
Fritz.
I did.
So,
yeah, how are the closets in that?
Small.
Yeah,
all small because there again they had their Sunday go to meetings, and then they had like maybe 2 changes of clothes. Back in the day, that's it. They didn't have a.
Yeah, don't need the master walk-in.
Now, do you find in those homes, because of the way they're constructed and it's choppy, that do people keep it and then do they knock walls out? Do they do some of that to open up those older homes to make them more that modern? Great room, large living area feel, or do they leave all the walls up because that's just the way it was?
That's a really great question, and the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Yes to both. Some people move in and they want to keep them the same.
Yep.
Because they like the style, they like how they look, and they don't want to destroy it, so to speak. And other people bought the house because they like how it looks on the outside. They like some of that woodwork. They like the area because school district is typically close to the lakes and good walkability. And then they want to, modernize the property,
absolutely.
So they'll go out. So
make it more usable for their family and how they live life.
Right.
What year do you think this home was built in Aldrich?
1904.
1911.
1911.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have it up here. So,
yeah, so
gorgeous home.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous
fabulous
home.
house. So Shelly, now I got Shelly's here with Home Warranties America. So Shelly, I have a question for you then regarding homes like this and the inspections, and more importantly, warranty claims. Do you notice a difference between warranty claims, a frequency or whatnot of an older house versus a newer house?
I honestly do not. And the nice thing about Home Warranty of America, we will put on a home warranty on any property no matter what the age is. So the house can be 10 years old, it can be 100 years old, and the price and coverage does not change.
That's really an important point because that is a deterrent for some people about buying an older home like that.
Yes, exactly. They're more worried because it's an older home.
Right.
You know, some of the homes that I've seen with claims, you know, it was built, you know, back in 1911, and we can't get the parts or whatever from back then. It's very different, and a lot of times my company can offer buyouts too and get something new or different into the house as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the process then when someone is buying an old house like this and they want to put a warranty on it? How would they do that? Or how about someone that actually owns the house? Can they put a warranty on a home that they own, or does it always have to be done at the point of sale?
We do offer two different programs. If you're buying or selling a home, absolutely you can get a 13-month home warranty with HWA. Yet if you've lived in the home and it's past closing and it's 6 months later and you kind of remember, kind of remember, Keith, you know, you're mentioning that home warranty. Can I still get one? The answer is absolutely yes. We do have a direct-to-consumer home warranty.
Oh, good. So then they just go on your website and...
Yep, and my corporate office is in Chicago, so they would talk to a rep in that area. I am here in the Twin Cities, so, you know, I would not be the contact person. I don't have that price, and I don't sell those kind of direct-to-consumers, but people at my corporate office absolutely do.
Fritz, you got a question?
Yeah, we're just kind of scrolling through these pictures and wondering about...
When we were mumbling and you,
and
you
don't
looked
realize
harshly.
that you've got
I do
a
have
microphone.
a mic right here.
So when you're whispering, everybody hears it.
Everybody still hears. We have a great question, though.
Okay.
Wondering about boilers versus furnaces.
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you brought that up because on a house that has a boiler system with Home Warranty of America, it is more of a limit of coverage, and we only will cover it up to $1,500.
Even if it's a new boiler?
Correct. It doesn't. Okay. If it's a boiler system versus a regular furnace or heating system, specifically in our contract, it does say in the small print, but I'm pointing it out. It's only up to $1,500.
So, Keith, on these properties like this one, you know, as I'm looking through the pictures, you see boilers in every room.
Yeah.
How does that work?
That isn't a boiler. That's a radiator.
A radiator.
That's a radiator, and that's just hot water or steam.
Okay.
So it's actually, to be honest, it's a more efficient way to heat the house. It's better heat, more even heat. You don't have the fluctuations of forced air where the furnace comes on and it goes off and it comes on and it goes off. Right. It's just steady, constant heat. The reason that you don't see that frequently now in newer built homes is because it's also very expensive. And so it's really a cost limiting factor that people who are building homes today and more purchasing homes today are putting on the constraints because it's just so much less expensive to put in a forced air system even though it doesn't work as well.
Do you have a thermostat then?
Sure.
In each room?
You can adjust those radiators in each room. Yep. So you've got one main thermostat in the house, or you can be zoned too. I've owned a house with I have a boiler in my house right now because I like boilers. So and we have 7 zones in our house that are controlled by thermostat. But then in each individual room, you can also regulate the individual radiator and tweak that a little bit too so that you get that just really nice even heat. And that's important because if you've got a home that's any size at all, in Minnesota especially, we have north, south, east, and west. And the heating requirements in the north side of a house are significantly different than the heating requirements on the south side of the house. And heat requirements in the daytime are quite different than heat requirements in the evening and when it's dark out, so we don't get the solar gain and some of those types of things. So it's good to have somebody that's very experienced in that area and they can balance your property, make it just as toasty and nice. And they're so efficient.
And the other disadvantage too, though, is the lack of ductwork for AC unit too. So that kind of comes into play as well. So,
and sometimes going back into these older houses, that's a challenge. Because many of these older homes do not have AC. This house on Aldrich We just got a quote to have air conditioning put in that house. It doesn't have AC in it, and it's a 3-story house. Doesn't have AC in it, and $35,000.
Oh, are they
35
retrofitting
grand?
it from the
They're
ceiling?
using those split units now that are small, and they're very, very good.
Wow,
they can do
35.
it now. It's just that it's a lot of money. That's it for this segment. If you're looking for information about selling or buying, go to realestatechalktalk.com. We'll be back right after the break.
Brown Shack Barbecue. Yeah.
AM 1280, The Patriot.
New Age Technologies provides effortless entertainment and control with the push of a button. We conceive, customize, and install innovative technologies for your home and business, including home theater systems, home security, whole home audio, commercial and home automation, and home surveillance, and much more. Discover our residential services or commercial services and contact us today for more information at nahometheater.com.
New Life Contracting, specialists in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, and paint for your home. New Life Contracting features GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractors. Only 1% to 2% of contractors nationwide qualify as Master Elite Roofers. That means New Life Contracting can offer better warranties on the GAF product lines. That means special training every year and extended warranties that put New Life Contracting into an elite club that wins awards and provides unmatched service and work for you since 1998. Learn more at newlifecontracting.com and click on free estimate.
Hi, this is Mike Greenlee, familiar voice with Minnesota hockey fans. If you have hair loss and want more hair, go to IneedMoreHair.com, the only permanent solution to hair loss. Dr. Abramson is the most experienced hair transplant specialist in Minnesota and ranks in the top 1% in the nation. Dr. Abramson has given patients from around the world, including some of the most prominent celebrities in Hollywood, as well as Minnesota, a full head of hair. He can do the same for you. Here's the best part. His technique is so advanced, his results are guaranteed in writing, and his prices are the best in the business. Prices as low as $3 per graft. His office is conveniently located in Eagan, near 35E and Diffley Road. IneedMoreHair.com will allow you to see a more confident reflection of yourself. That's IneedMoreHair.com. The consultations are free, and the results are amazing. Check out IneedMoreHair.com for complete details. That's IneedMoreHair.com. Experience you can trust. Prices you can afford.
Inefficient heating and cooling systems can really take a toll on your utility bill and comfort levels. The trained technicians at H2C have been helping local homes and business owners for over 50 years. They make sure that every system is operating at its peak performance. Energy-efficient heating and cooling systems from the highly trained experts at H2C Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, bringing back fair pricing to the Twin Cities. Visit myh2c.com.
Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. To do you right, we take time for a barbecue flavor that will blow your mind. Get that Rack Shack attack, oh, Rack Shack barbecue. Made fresh daily, we cater to you. Homemade sauces, secret rubs too. It's America's food and the right thing to do. Get that Rack Shack attack, Rack Shack barbecue. Yeah. Money, get away. Get a good job with more paying you. Okay.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is the money segment of the program. We're going to talk to Kelvin Kaemingk. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk, 612-627-8000. Kelvin's number is 651-231-2500. So I just want to remind everyone, if you're busy out working in the yard and you want something to eat and you don't want to go get it, just go in on your phone, which is probably in your back pocket, pull up RackShackBarbecue.com, click on the delivery link, and you can it'll take you right to the menu. You can order yourself up some ribs, nice mashed or potato salad, some beans, and they'll deliver it right to to the
Do they deliver, or do you do DoorDash?
DoorDash takes care of it. Yep, it's
What's the delivery fee on that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
it doesn't matter when
it doesn't
it's ribs.
matter. And
I
when
know.
it's
I'm
ribs
just thinking at the office all the time. I'm sitting there thinking I'm hungry and I got
Yeah.
19 things to do. I got to eat, otherwise I'm
Exactly.
going to get a headache. And
Yep, that's right. Yeah, and they deliver to the office because we have it brought all the time. Okay. RackShackBarbecue.com is American food. It is the right thing to do, so do it the right way. Okay, so we've been talking this week about older houses, and I got a question for Kelvin. Does it matter, Kelvin, the age of the property when you're putting a loan on it? Is there any other inspections that need to be done? Anything with the appraisal that one needs to be concerned about? Anything about interest rates?
Nothing regarding interest rates, and we'll get into that in just a little bit in terms of what's happening in the real estate market. For older homes, you're going to have lead-based paint disclosure, and then if there's any work orders, peeling paint, anything like that, if we have FHA loans, we have to attend to those. And we tend to see those a little bit more on older homes than the newer homes, but nothing we can't get through.
Okay.
So it's okay there. One quick question for you, Keith, as we're talking about these older homes. I noticed on that one on Aldridge, it was on the market for some time.
Mm-hmm.
Do those homes tend to stay on the market longer because it is an older home and people have a preconceived notion that, gosh, it's an old home, there's going to be a lot more repairs, there's, the whole radiator, thing we talked about last. Is that put people off, do you think, or what's your thought on time frame for moving those properties?
I don't think so. I think it has more to do with price range, like it does in any market. I mean, you can go the home that we were talking about at Aldridge, that was an expensive house, so that's just going to take longer to sell, and it was a big house, so it's just going to take longer to sell. I don't think it had anything to do with the age of the property. If you get into some of the, I don't think so. I don't think.
I think people in that area that are looking to be in that area are looking for the older homes, are looking for some of those things that it offers, and are willing to accept some of the shortcomings, if you will, the radiator versus a furnace and some of the other smaller closets, because they want to be in that area, that style house with all the architectural features and character and millwork and high ceilings and cove ceilings and hardwood floors that it offers.
And we have people actually asking for homes that were built in given years.
Really?
Because they know that those homes carry those characteristics that they're looking for. And mid-century too. I mean, we have people who like those, the Korean built, post-Korea, those kinds of homes, because they have a very definite architectural style.
And do you see an architectural style like after World War I, and then is there a different style after World War II and Korea? And
yes.
Vietnam?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? That it's based on war times, or?
Well, I think those are just benchmarks.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically after wartime, let's face it, during a wartime, when there's a wartime economy going on, we're in a wartime economy right now. Everyone's whining about the economy's not taking off like it should, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, look, we've been fighting a war for 20 years. A lot of money been poured into bombs being dropped someplace that could have been brought into our economy. So once that ends, then those resources are available to flow back into the economy, and you'll have a boom. And when there's a financial boom that raises all boats, then you've got building that goes on and people start spending money on more than just the necessities. So typically right after that period, then you're going to have nicer homes being built with more architectural details, more style. People are starting to look for style again, so they move away from utility and move towards style. Clothing, it's at the clothing in those areas, terrific.
Do you think we'll ever have that time difference again? Because we'll continually be in, like you said, at war. Quite honestly, I think we'll be in that for a long time now, given the way that war is fought with the ISIS and the terrorism. I think it's just a different type of war.
I think
it's not like you put on your uniform, I put on mine. We're just going to see who wins.
I think you're right. I think we're insulated from the war, and so people. I think that the bulk of the population doesn't really think that we're in war.
And I agree with you.
Yeah, they don't realize that we're in war. They don't realize the resources that are being devoted to it. And so the expectation is that they're just going to kind of roll on. So we don't have that mentality of conserve now, and let's pull together, shoulder up, the country united. And then afterwards we're going to all celebrate and buy new cars and put on fancy clothes and go dancing.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about the economy not getting back to where you thought where it should be because of how much money we're spending. Let's talk about that a little bit, because the biggest number that comes out each month is the jobs report. And that came out on Friday, and it was a shocker. The consensus. So everybody goes by consensus, Keith. So they said that the consensus was 155,000 new jobs would be created. So then everybody says, okay, are they going to be higher or lower? And the markets will react to whether they hit it. they were high or they were low.
Right.
Well, the number came in at, do you know what the number came in at or not?
I didn't.
38,000.
Okay. Wow. That's like none.
38,000. Consensus, 155,000. That's not a little miss.
No, that's not a little miss.
That's huge, right? That is a huge miss. And so they anticipate, so the Fed is going to meet in June, and there's an anticipation that they would raise the Fed funds rate another quarter in June. Now there's a lot of hesitation whether or not they will or will not do that. There's also downward revisions to earlier. So every month they come out with, here's this month's numbers, and then they do a revision, right? They kind of double check the numbers, and then they'll do a revision up or down. The revision was down for the previous months. So here was the number, but it was actually here. Now this month was just horrific, 38,000. So here's the thing that, I was watching this because, I watch this stuff a lot.
Yeah.
But the unemployment rate, what do you think the unemployment rate is now?
Well, the stated probably 5.5%.
Oh, 4.7.
Yeah.
It was 4.9. They anticipated it to be at 4.9, and it dropped. So we didn't create new jobs. So I watched Squawk Box, right? Because these guys are going on, and they all sit there and they go, God, there's just something funny going on. There's just something funny going on. Well, we know there's been
something funny going on for 8 years with those numbers.
I know, but it's pretty interesting to hear them talk about the fact that it just doesn't make sense. We don't create new jobs yet. Unemployment rate goes down. Then they did go through the labor participation rate, right? And that's at 62%. Okay? 62% is the labor participation rate.
So 62% of those who are able to work
are working.
Have a job.
Yep. So that means there's 40% or 38% that are able bodies, that are not working.
And then, but we have 4-point-something% unemployment.
Right. I mean,
really?
Come on. You don't have to, our next segment, the thinking man. Here's a thinking man segment, right?
Exactly.
Think through this stuff, folks. So, and then the trade deficit, they looked at that, and that's one of the big things that Trump just pounds is pounding on the campaign is just that trade deficit. Our trade deficit was $37.4 billion, and it was expected to be a little bit higher. So $37 billion trade deficit. It's just amazing. I think that alone, if Trump gets elected and if he just attacks trade, I think that improves the economy dramatically. However, having said that, so we hear from Barry Habib, and we see that he's speaking at the Strategic Investment Conference. All the top economic minds in the country.
And Barry Habib, who is this guy?
He runs mortgage-backed securities. Basically a website all on the financial markets, basically saying where rates will go. And we look at, we subscribe to his stuff. We're on his stuff all the time.
Okay. So he's a recognized guy.
Very recognized guy, one of the top speakers in the country on mortgage. So he talked about real estate appreciation, 6% appreciation year over year. Would you concur with that in our market?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Yep. More some places and less others, but generally, yep.
And then he said people are settling. We talked about that earlier. People are settling for homes they don't want, so it's going to actually spark the real estate market over the next 3 years because people have bought these homes they really don't want, but there's low inventory, and it's going to keep doing that.
Right.
And then he said...
That's what we talked about in the first segment.
Yeah. And then he talked a lot about, they said at the conference, that people don't like the stock market. And they talk a lot about shorting the stock market, that they really believe that there'll be a recession or a large correction in the stock market. So just being thoughtful and having anticipation on a correction in the market. So that was interesting. They said they really believe that mortgage interest rates are going to go down because of the recession, the correction in the market. Because when the market goes down, rates typically go with it. And I'm sitting here going, I keep preaching that we're going to get back to 6%. I've been wrong. I've never been so happy to be wrong about something in my life. But they're saying that rates will correct that. They anticipate another refinance boom.
And what do they think that they're going to? What are rates right now?
3.875.
Okay, so go down to what?
3.
Really?
Wow.
Under 3, you think?
I don't know. That's what they anticipate.
Wow.
Never would have thought that.
But then if you look at like consumer spending was better in April than it's been in 8 years, and it's a
mixed bag. Isn't it right now?
It's a really mixed bag. We're going to run out of time for this hour, so we're going to just head out to the 1 hour break here. If you're looking for information about selling or purchasing a home, your one-stop website is Real Estate Chalk Talk. RealEstateChalkTalk.com is where you can find all the resources. 612-627-8000.
Hey, it's Kelvin Kaemingk, the money man from your Real Estate Chalk Talk. It's hard to believe that we're in our 7th season with the show. I love the conversations we have on a weekly basis and know that I'm here to help you with your new purchase or refinance. We never charge an origination fee, so don't believe your lender when they say it's a required or standard fee. Also, if you mention this ad, I'll cover the cost of your appraisal when we close on your home loan. It's time for a smart conversation. Call me today at 651-231-2500. Again, 651-231-2500. You're going to like the way we work. American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, NMLS number 150953.
Relief in Tucson red. Feeling better in Santorini blue. No matter what the color, Wow One Day Painting gets any job done in a day guaranteed. The experts at Wow One Day Painting take away your stress with a free on-site quote and spotless cleanup. Uniformed, professional, and on time. So stay mellow in yellow and relax when you have Wow One Day Painting on the job. Call Wow One Day Painting 1-888-969-1329. WowOneDayPainting.com.
AM 1280, The Patriot. WWTC, Minneapolis, St. Paul. The official radio station of Decision.